Yeah, I was very proud of our team. I'd really challenged them from the week before and even the two previous weeks. We got to get back to playing 60 minutes of football, so that was the challenge all week long. Felt really good about our first half performance until the last 27 seconds. I mean, we played 8 possessions. It was a 17 possession football game. I mean, it felt like we were out there forever, and I felt really good about 14 of those possessions defensively. I mean, through the first 8 possessions of the game, we hold them to 200 and something yards. I mean, and then right there with 27 seconds to go, we just kind of let our guard down, and that was very disappointing. So then we came back out, played the next 5 possessions, and hold them to 80 yards of offense, maybe 84. So it felt really good about that. And then we put our twos in there and gave up a couple of cheap ones there at the end of the game. But I was very pleased with everything except the last 27 seconds of the first half. Then flip it over to the other side. Offensively, I mean, we had 609 yards of offense, averaged 8.7 yards a rush, which anytime you see something like that, I think 323 yards of rushing. Sam Hicks had 200 plus of that. So very proud of the way that our offense executed. Did a really nice job protecting the football for the most part. I thought Maverick's arm was moving forward on the when he tried to get the ball out, but obviously they saw something else that I didn't see. But other than that, I thought it was a good performance and put up a lot of points and played, for the most part, played pretty well defensively with -3 possessions.
No Brady Tuck rule, huh?
What's that?
No Brady
No,
Tuck rule.
I don't guess so.
I mean, you mentioned it the last couple of weeks, starting off fast and kind of playing the first half like you guys played the second. Well, it kind of happened that way in the first half this last weekend. How good does that feel to be able to kind of give your team a challenge and them to step up the way that they did against
That's right. I mean, I just felt like, even in special teams, we played well other than the one punt return. I mean, we had 3 guys on the ground, and they made a nice return down in there, but the defense really stepped up and forced them to a field goal right there. So other than that, it was really good in all 3 phases to get out and start fast. Grant Nichols punting the football extremely well right now. I like the way that our special teams are trending right now. Got a lot of guys that are playing their role in that part of the game, and pleased to see that. But it was good. We started off with a 3-and-out offensively, and after getting a stop defensively, that's been that one thing that we have discussed is our drive starters and just making sure that we get that first down, and then things get to rolling for us. When we do that, we're hard to stop.
And talking about the rushing yards, I mean, averaging almost a first down every single rush. Sam putting up 200-plus yards. What was kind of working on the ground when it came to that kind of game?
Yeah, I thought our offensive line, was physical up front, and they've had trouble stopping the run through the first 4 games. We knew that going in, so that was just a major emphasis. We've got to be able to run the football, and anytime you do that, now you're going to get those linebackers and everyone sucking up into the line of scrimmage to try to stop it, and then just opens up opportunities for big plays like you saw from Nehemiah Martinez and Blaine Taylor and those guys.
And putting up 50 points is tough against any team. The fact that your offense was able to go out and do that and kind of do something that you haven't seen this season necessarily is put up that kind of offense.
Yeah, I mean, that's who I think we can become. I mean, we've got guys that are playmakers at every position. From tight end, running back, wide receiver, and Maverick's doing a good job distributing the football. And 7 of those points obviously came from the defense on the scoop and score by Chris Wright. Had 2 caused fumbles on the night, and he was fortunate to get the 55th point. So, like I said, I mean, other than the fact that I felt like that, if we could have gone in right there because we had just scored on offense, we go out and hold them right before the half. and then come back out. We score the next 2 possessions. Now the score is 41-10 instead of 41-16. And I just felt like that, that was the one part of the game. I mean, that affected me, and like I just all the way until probably the end of the game. I mean, I just you can't do that against moving forward to position ourselves. We got to make sure that we take advantage of the momentum of the game.
When you talk about getting the second string players in there, how valuable is that to be able to do something like that, for them to get game experience in a conference game?
That's right. I mean, and that's what I try to tell them is that, look, I mean, we got 2 series there, and I really challenged them. I mean, our offense, not trying to be negative or anything, but our backups on offense, they go out there and they go 2, 3 and outs. Our defense goes out there and gives up 14 points, defensively. And I mean, we've just got to be ready that when you get your opportunity, you got to make the most of it. And that was my challenge to them, and my message to them was that, those opportunities don't come along very often to be able to get out and get in live action as a unit. And we just got to be better prepared the next time we do that.
And starting that 7-game stretch 1-0, just how valuable is that you guys are able to get that conference stretch on offense?
Yeah, I mean, it's in this particular point of the season, it's nothing more than it's just each week. And every time that you win, okay, the so-called price of poker goes up, right? I mean, every game is that much more meaningful. And if you continue to win, it just gets that way all the way to the end of the season at this point, because now you're playing for a conference championship. You're playing for opportunities to try to get into the playoffs, and then when you do that, then you win. Now you're trying to play to win a national championship. So now everything is important. I mean, everything counts, and that's what it's all about. You just got to be able to take it 1 week at a time, not look past what's right in front of you. And if you can do that and stack success, then you have an opportunity to be successful.
And now jumping ahead to this weekend, Central Arkansas. It was a tough game last year. Their running back had a pretty good day last season. What are the challenges having Central Arkansas come here?
Yeah.
Taking on you guys?
Yeah, when you look at the score of the game last year, it really wasn't indicative of what really took place, in my opinion. I mean, it was 24-10, 21-10 for the most of the game. I mean, we jumped out on them early, 10-7, and then it's like we lost our confidence offensively when we had a fumble for a touchdown in the end zone, allowed them to take a 17-10 lead at that particular point, and then it moved to like 17-10, 21-10. I can't remember how it actually went down, but for the most part, we did a nice job containing their run game up until that point, and then just like that, they hit a couple of big plays midway through the third quarter, and they kind of took control from there. So we got great respect for their program. They've been winning there for a long time. You go all the way back to the 70s and early 80s. I mean, they've been winning consistently since that particular time. We got great respect for their coaches and their program, and it's like any other week, and it's just how you want it. You want to play tough, competitive schedule, and that's what we got.
And it took, I don't know how many years to play a ranked matchup between 2 teams here at ACU. You get one 2 weeks later with Central Arkansas. How can you use that experience against a ranked team in Idaho into this game against a ranked team in Central Arkansas?
That's right. It's not about trying to win a game. It's not about trying to go and beat a ranked opponent. It's about trying to get prepared, improve your execution on offense, improve your discipline and your playing sound fundamental football on defense, and continue to improve special teams wise. So I think as long as we continue to do that and keep that the focus, it's really about us. I mean, to this point, it has been ACU beating ACU, and that we have to eliminate that. And if we can, we'll give ourselves an opportunity to win.
And last time you had a ranked opponent here. You had the 3rd highest attendance in ACU history. Another ranked opponent. What are your expectations for the crowd and the community to come out?
You bet. I mean, we were. It makes all the difference in the world. I mean, when kids can play in front of a home crowd and a big crowd, and man, we definitely, we extended our thanks and appreciation for that. It just needs to become the norm here, right? Because we're trying to put a quality brand of football on the field. And these young men, they deserve everyone to come out and support them. And man, we just want to thank Big Country and all the ACU alumni and all the support that we received in the Idaho game. Let's do it again against Central Arkansas.
And then what are some of the things that you saw from Central Arkansas last year that are going to be similar this year? And how are you kind of trying to game plan for that?
Yeah, they got a quarterback that has great command of what they do offensively. Their running backs, they got two running backs that have played a lot of football. They're dynamic. They can break runs at any point from anywhere on the field. So you got to do that, because if you allow them to run the football, now that opens up all their play action game, which they're extremely good at. And then from an offensive standpoint, they have the best pass rusher that we'll see all year long. The guy's dynamic. We got to make sure that we have a good plan for him, and got to protect the pocket to be able to give our quarterback time to throw the football, and we got to continue to build off what we did last week. We've got to be able to run it as well.
For the sake of blood pressure, it was a calmer week. Like before, would be a lot crazier. Closer games, come back, but it was a lot calmer of a week. So how would you, compare this week's game to, the weeks prior?
I think it depends on whose perspective you're saying it was calmer from. I mean, I'm telling you, my blood pressure was about 300 over 190 on the 27-second drive. I mean, I just have never been a part of anything like that, and I just felt like that, again, we're at some spots, we're a little bit inexperienced in the back end of our defense, and I just felt like we let our guard down. And I mean, that might have taken 3 years off my life, those 3 plays. So, in a lot of ways, those games, they drive me more crazy than a 3-point or a 1-point or a 1-score game. Games like that, I don't know. It's hard to describe, but my blood pressure was relatively high.
And then, as a team, rushing for 80 yards, almost a first down every time is insane. But Sam Hicks, of course, over 200 yards, 17 yards a carry. What do you make of his performance?
It's not surprising at all. I mean, when you watch people practice, it's really good when your best players practice the hardest. And he's one of our best players. He's a dynamic playmaker. Him and Nehemiah Martinez both. And if you come out and you watch us practice, you'll see why they're successful. So it's really, I see him do it in practice, and I see those guys that continually that work hard and practice hard. They make plays on game day because it's just what they expect to do. And it's always good when your best players are practicing the hardest.
Now moving to Central Arkansas, what would you say is different about them versus Idaho?
I think just the ability, they have a dynamic running back. I mean, the guy's already got like 800 plus yards on the season already. He can score from anywhere on the field against anyone. I mean, you watch him, go all the way back to early in the season a year ago. They play Oklahoma State. They play, it doesn't matter who they play. He looks the same. I mean, it's just like he's dynamic. He's fast. And he can score from anywhere. So we got to do a great job of containing him. That's where it all starts with their run game. You've got to shut it down. You got to be sound. You got to be disciplined. You got to fit it up, and that's going to be key to this game. I mean, they're more explosive offensively than Idaho is the biggest difference I see.
So it's a similar stage to what it was 2 weeks ago. What do you think it's going to take for this team to be able to be on the winning side this time?
Exactly what I've been preaching for the last 2 weeks, 60 minutes and then some. It's going to take us playing 60 minutes of quality football in all 3 phases, sound fundamentally on defense, explosive on offense, and then continue to trend up special teams-wise in the kicking game, creating field position. And if we do that for 60 minutes, we'll give ourselves a chance.
That's all.
With Sam Hicks having 3 touchdowns this last weekend, you got 2 running backs with 3 touchdown games this season. What does that do for the team?
Yeah, it keeps people from just zeroing in and saying, hey, we got to stop this guy. It's been that way all year. It seems like that every game it's someone different. I can, Blaine Taylor week 1. we had different people step up. Week 2 of Nehemiah Martinez. I mean, it's just Sam Hicks. I mean, who's it going to be this week? I don't know. Like, it's not like we sit there and go, hey, we're going to get Sam off to a fast start, or hey, we're going to get Nehemiah off to a fast start. It's just the nature of our offense. It's about taking what the defense gives you. And so far at this point, like you say, we have a lot of different people, not only at running back, but at the wide receiver position that can step up in key moments of the game.
Maverick bounced back from the Idaho game, had a good game, and connected on 2 70-plus yard touchdowns with Blaine Taylor and Nehemiah Martinez, respectively. What is his success and durability to save the team moving?
Yeah, I mean, you get the ball to playmakers, and if you really look at both those plays, they were tremendous. It was really what happened after the catch, right? I mean, you look at Blaine's, made a great run, split 2 defenders, and scores from long distance. And then Nehemiah, he is just he's hard to tackle. When you get him in space, he's got a running back body. So, you get him matched up on DBs, and he's a hard guy to bring down. So, what was impressive to me was once the ball was caught, is what they did after the catch. That was it. That was very impressive. And Maverick continues to grow in this offense and just do that. Hey, get your ball to the playmakers and let them do what they do, make plays.
Scored 48 points offensively on the road in a conference game. What kind of a confidence boost does that give the team coming back home?
It's confidence-wise, anytime, just winning, period, breeds confidence. And I think that, it's a new week. Yes, it's good to go, man, yeah, we put some points up, but now it's about becoming consistent. I don't care what someone's ranked. I don't care what someone's record is or what someone's record isn't. Now, let's consistently do that. And that's been my challenge to our staff, my challenge to our team, is that it's about playing 60 minutes of football. You're not going to go out and score 48 or 55 points every week. But what I'm looking for is a team that, man, offensively, we go out and we're consistent. Defensively, we go out and we play sound fundamental football. We have to get to the point defensively where we quit talking about the 3-play drive right before half, the 2 series against Idaho in the first half. Good grief. Big plays. The 3rd and 10 followed by a Wildcat touchdown trick on a one-man route, not busting a coverage on 3rd down and 7. We have to stop talking about those type things. Those things have got to stop defensively, and it's just about being sound, disciplined, and making sure that we can execute in those pressure situations. If we do that, we have a chance to be a really good football team.
This home game, your first of 3 out of the next 4 at home. What does the first one mean?
Yeah, it goes back to that. Defending Wildcat Stadium is something I've talked about ever since I've been here. I think we have an 8-4 record, if I'm not mistaken, in my time here. Our goal every year is to go undefeated at home, because if you go undefeated at home and you can go and win on the road, obviously you're going to position yourself to play meaningful football in November. So our first goal every year is to go undefeated at home. We stumped our toe against Idaho. Now we recalibrated, and now it's about going 4-1 at home. And you can't go 4-1 at home until you win your next game. So that's not only is it a home game, but then our second goal is obviously, we talked about it ever since the first year I've gotten here, is our goal is to be the conference champions. If not, why play the game of football? So our goal is to be conference champions. So not only is it a home game, it is a home game against a conference opponent.
We talked about slower starts, and I think last week you said you could see from the beginning that the focus and preparation on game day wasn't there. Did you see more focus on this Saturday?
Yeah, I think, this generation, it's hard to capture people's attention, like never has there been a greater time to be somewhere you're not. The cell phone is just, it's something where, I can be here, but at the same time, I can be back in my hometown. I can be, anywhere. And so to try to capture young men's attention, there's just more things that can do that. So to get people to focus in on, here's what we're here to do. Okay, we're here to play a football game, and we're here to play high caliber, high quality brand of football. And to do that, it takes an extreme amount of mental focus, mental intensity to be able to do that. I mean, football is different than any sport just because of the physical nature of it. And you can't be loosey-goosey. You can't be, not completely locked in and execute and perform at a high level.
Man, you've been around a lot of football in your life. Recently this weekend, HSU's head coach got his 100th career win. Just talk about the difficulty that is to win 100 games as a head coach in a career.
That's right. I have nothing but great respect for Coach. I mean, ever since I've gotten here, he's been very kind, reached out to me several times and congratulated me on big wins. And I'm glad you gave me that heads up. I was obviously busy this weekend, but need to follow up and extend Coach congratulations, because let me just tell you something about football. Like you say, winning is hard. It doesn't matter. Okay, it doesn't matter if it's FBS, Power 5, FCS, Division II, Division III. Anytime you win, there's just certain characteristics and certain certain things that you have to be able to attain to be able to win 100 games in football. I mean, it's not easy, and I have great respect for that. And obviously have great respect for the program, just looking from the outside in at what they do there at Hardin-Simmons. And congratulations to Coach, and wish him the very best the rest of the year.